welcome back. In this episode today, I'm going to talk about Amazon CodeCatalyst again. We are going to focus on the development environments, and we're going to try out using a development environment using Cloud9, focused on a specific branch of our example project. I think this is pretty cool. Before we get started into the development environment, let's once again look at our pull request from the last video that we did. So we had this pull request over here. If I remember correctly, we had looked at a workflow that was triggered because of this pull request creation. As you can see, the execution of this workflow was now successful. So we're going to look at that quickly. With that, we could now merge this pull request, which is what we're going to do, because afterwards we expect a new workflow to kick off that is going to deploy our change out. I will want to delete the source branch here after merging, and I want to squash the commits even if I only had one. I will get the warning over here that this also deletes workflows that are executed or something like that. But at the end, this is now going to bring our source that we changed back to the main folder, and this will now also kick off the build on the main branch. What you can see over here. Less than a minute ago, this run was started, and this is now going to update our CloudFront distribution here as well. So while you're waiting for that, let's move over to the development environment. So as you can see, today there is no development environment in this space created. We're going to look at that now. So let's go let's go back to issues. Let's move our change done to done, and let's create ourselves a new issue, which is update contents of HTML file of resources. So just make sure that we do something cool. Now let's put this to progress because we're going to work on this. So this is issue number 3. So what I would love to get here, what this does not yet access, is now a possibility to start a development environment directly for this ticket or for this branch. This does not exist. However, we can go over to the source code repositories, which would be over here. We can now create ourselves a branch, which is number 3, update content. We're going to create that from the main branch, and once we have created the branch, we are now going to be able up here to create a development environment. As you can see, there's different options. By default, you can go with Cloud9, which is in the browser, but you can also connect your local IDEs to a development environment in the backend. So using the remote functionality of your different IDEs. And it's cool to see that the CodeCatalyst team has teamed up with Visual Studio team, but also with the JetBrains team to really give us possibilities to interact with the IDEs that we love, right? I personally think the real difference here will be if we can really connect to development backends from any kind of client or frontend. So envisioning the possibility to work with existing development environments from your iPad, from your phone, or even maybe just from your local notebook. For me, as I regularly switch devices, which are mainly desktop devices, I really enjoy the possibility to use Cloud9 as an IDE in this example. We're going to now create ourselves a new environment. I can just use this configuration up here. If I need more, I can power this up, but this will cost me money. So I'm going to go with the default ones. And now, within a few minutes, I'm going to see that there's going to be a Cloud9 instance for me provisioned. Cloud9 being a web-based IDE that Amazon has presented, I think, at re:Invent 2019. We're going to now see this instance that is being created in the background. It's going to take a few minutes until it's available, but then you will directly see your development environment, and anything that you have downloaded over here that you have in your source code will be visible over here. So as you can see, this really comes with all of the neat features that you need to edit your code directly online. So you have the dev file, which defines your environment. You will have package.json with all of the dependencies that are stored in your source code, and you will have your source pieces over here, which is the actual web page that we looked at before. If you remember, we had changed the title to be Welcome to CodeCatalyst Demo. And we will now change this. Here are some resources to get you started, was the topic that we saw already. And we're now going to, let's say, try to add a new link over here. Let's just copy paste this one to make things easy. We're going to add a new resource over here, which is going to point us to my actual private blog, which is loghead.info. We are not going to change the used icons or something like that to keep it easy. But we're going to change the text of the link now. Now, after we did this, right, we have saved this. I pressed Ctrl+S to save. We will see that we are down here in the shell and terminal, right? We can go into our project. In there, we will now see git status showing us a div in the HTML file that I just mentioned. We are going to add this now. Curate -a -m. Change resources, and this changed one file, and now I need to push this. Once conducting the push, right, this will now be updated into source code online. So if we open up once again this overview over here, we will now hopefully see that also in the source file there has been a change. Let's see. So we should now be seeing our new piece of code, which we added over here. As we remember from last time, now there is no workflow triggered on commit. The workflow will be triggered when we start our pull request, which is not what we want to do now. As you can see, this was pretty easy. Now, never forget, if you work on this, you will need to make sure that you close this Cloud9 instance, right? So you need to close this window. If you don't close this window, you're going to be built for using this, even if you're not working on it, right? So you will now see that in the development environments in CodeCatalyst, we do have this running instance of the IDE, of the development environment. Now let's see if I can shut this down, right? So at the end, I want to close this Cloud9 instance. So we can go to CodeCatalyst development environments over here to see those, but we can also, I think, just close this instance. This is set up in a way that it will automatically go to inactive after 15 minutes, but I can also stop it here, right? So the idea here really being save as much costs as possible. So if I stop it here, it's going to shut down the environment, the development environment. Once this is stopped, I'm not going to be charged any costs for it, right? And if I then want to quickly start working on this branch again, so I will see the branch name over here. I can just go to this environment, and once it has finished stopping, right, I will be able to start it again, right? And then I can directly keep on working on where I was before. And I think this is pretty neat, right? As I mentioned, I think there's more to come with further integration of testing tools and stuff like that. But Cloud9 is really good enough to get you started and to avoid the hassle of setting up, managing your environments in all your different machines that you're working on. And as I mentioned, right, I change my environments regularly, and I think really this is going to be very helpful. Cool. yeah, with that, thanks a lot for watching this short video around the development environments in Amazon CodeCatalyst. If you have any questions or remarks, please let me know. Add some comments or reach out to me on either LinkedIn, Twitter, or email. And looking forward to next time start to look a little bit at the workflows, which for me is really the most important piece right now, as I'm really focusing on delivering CI/CD workflows for you in the right direction. So thanks a lot. Please share this video or like it at least, and let me know if you would want me to change some of the stuff that I'm doing. Thanks a lot, and have a great rest of your day.